Shalom. Giving all praise and glory to the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. As always, we're going to start off with Colossians 3:17. And whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all by Hashem Mashiach Yahushai. Give you thanks to the Most High and the Father by Hashem Mashiach Yahushai. So all that we say and do is going to be in the name of the anointed Savior, Mashiach Yahushai. We give thanks to the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, for these words to be praised for everything. We give all glory and honor to the Most High, who we're going to speak about. He's going to teach us of his word through the Spirit of the Most High, the word of the Most High. We're going to continue on Joel, the 2nd chapter. We're going to start at verse 12. Joel 2 and 12. So get your pen and pad out and take great notes. Very important that we see this, because this is dealing with the coming of the Most High and the Mashiach Yahushai. When this World War III going to take an effect, and now he's going to deal with how we got to be ready so we can be delivered as the Israelites. Just because you're Israelite don't mean that we're going to be delivered. We're going to be saved. So let's look at this. Joel 2 and 12. It says, therefore also now, said the Most High, turn ye even to me. Hear what he said? Turn to him with all your heart, and with fasting, and with weeping, and with mourning. So the heart is the mind. When you understand the Bible's hip talk, you know, because people say your heart just beats blood to every part of our body. But this heart is talking about the mind. Go to Mark the 7th chapter just to prove that point. Because 1 Thessalonians 5:21 says, prove all things. So let's prove that. Go to Mark the 7th chapter, the 21st verse. It says, for from within, out of the heart of men. So Mashiach Yahushua letting us know what it's talking about. Proceed evil thoughts. See? Evil thoughts. Where do thoughts come from? Your mind. So the heart is talking about the way you think. So going back to Joel, just bookmark Joel, the 2nd chapter, because we're going to be, precepting from Joel, the 2nd chapter. So it's telling us, Joel 2 and 12, it says, therefore also now, said the Most High, power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, turn ye even to me. He said, even turn to him with all your heart, which is your mind, with all your mind, and with fasting, and with weeping, and with mourning. So it's many case scenarios. You can go to Judges 10 and 10 down. You can read about how we were redeemed from our captivities under these other nations when we cried to the Most High. Fasting, and like he's saying, fasting, and weeping, and with mourning. I'm going to go to another scenario. Go to Judah, the book of Judah, the 4th chapter. We're going to see a case scenario of how this works, what he's saying, what he's telling us to do. See, one thing that we all have to look for, and that's solutions. What worked with our ancestors? That's why I say look into the past. You look into the past, we see what worked, it'll work for us. Simple as that. So let's go to Judah in the Apocrypha, the 4th chapter, and let's start at verse 1. We're going to read 1 to 3. It says, and it's on, if you have the Cambridge University Press Apocrypha, the red Apocrypha, it's on page 45. So Judah, the 4th chapter, the 1st verse says, now the children of Israel that dwell in Judea heard all that Holofernes, the chief captain of Nebuchadnezzar, king of the Assyrians, had done to the nations, and after what manner he had spoiled all their temples, and brought them to naught, brought them to nothing, brought all these nations to nothing. Therefore they were exceedingly afraid of him. They were exceedingly afraid of him, and were troubled for Jerusalem, and for the temple of the Most High, their power. So they were afraid of him. They were troubled, concerned about the temple of the Most High, our power. Verse 3, for they were newly returned from the captivity, and all the people of Judea were lately gathered together, and the vessels and the altar and the house were sanctified after the profanation. So they had sanctified everything coming out of captivity, sanctified everything in the temple. So let's jump to verse 9. Knowing that, Holofernes, this Assyrian, is taking out all nations, bringing them to nothing. So we're afraid. That's going to happen to us. So jump to verse 9. It says, then every man of Israel cried to the Most High with great fervency, sincere, crying to the Most High. We can already be taken out, they were thinking. And with great vehemency did they humble their souls. You can't cry and be prideful. So we know we might be brought to naught too, just like the rest of the nations. So we cried to our power, the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Both they and their wives, it says both they and their wives, our wives was crying with us, and their children crying with us, and their cattle, and every stranger, and hireling, and their servants bought with money, even the servants that we bought with money, put sackcloth upon their loins, put sackcloth like burlap on our loins. Thus every man and woman and the little children and the inhabitants of Jerusalem fell before the temple and cast ashes upon their heads, put ashes on their heads, and spread out their sackcloth before the face of the Most High. Also, they put sackcloth about the altar. They even put sackcloth on the altar. And cried to the Most High power of Israel, all with one consent, earnestly. We already read was you got to do it with humility, earnestly, that he would not give their children for a prey and their wives for a spoil. You see, the women were like getting jury off the enemy then whenever you defeat them. That's how the nations took our women, and that's why they went from generation to generation to captivity after captivity. So we cried to the Most High, he wouldn't take our children as a prey and our women as a spoil. And the cities of their inheritance to destruction, and the sanctuary to profanation and reproach, disgrace our sanctuary, and for the nations to rejoice at. They take us down, and all the nations gonna be happy that we taking our part, just like it is, just like it was when we went down in 70 AD until now. So the Most High heard their prayers and looked upon their afflictions. For the people fasted many days in all Judea and Jerusalem. Hear that? For we, as the children of Israel, fasted many days in all Judea and Jerusalem before the sanctuary of the Most High Almighty. And Joachim, the high priest, and all the priests that stood before the Most High, and they which ministered unto the Most High, had their loins girt with sackcloth, and offered the daily burnt offerings with the vows and free gifts of the people, and had ashes on their mitres. That we had mitres, which are like the turbans that we wear on our heads. but they had ashes all over them, and cried unto the Most High with all their power, that he would look upon all the house of Israel graciously. Give us something that we didn't deserve. That's grace. And he did. That's a solution that we knew worked. Like I said, you can read Judges 10 to 10 down, and you see that when Osiris released us from captivity, when we cried to him. Every time. It's not going to be any different this time. While we talk about Jacob's trouble, well, Jacob's trouble going to have you cry. Well, you think you're going to make it without him? I don't think so. Going back to Joel 2 and 13. After you're told to fast and weep and mourn, cry to him with fasting, he said, verse 13, Joel 2 and 13, and rend your heart and not your garments. So we know the heart is what? The mind, our thoughts, the way we think. He said, rend our minds, the way we think, and not your garments. And turn unto the Most High your power, for he is gracious and merciful, slow to anger, and of great kindness, and repent of him of the evil. See? You don't feel bad about bringing that evil, which we deserve, but not following him and doing what he said do. Look at Jeremiah 9. What is Jeremiah, the 9th chapter? So we didn't do what he said do, therefore we subject to whatever he's going to bring, which is the evil, though he's not evil. But when you do wrong, then you draw it to you. Jeremiah 9 and 25 is very important we hear this, because he's saying, because we used to tear our garments and, allowing the Most High to repent or feel sorry for us. But he said, rend your mind the way you think. Jeremiah 9 and 25, behold, the days come, future prophecy, said the Most High, that I will punish all them which are circumcised with the uncircumcised. You hear that? He gonna punish all the Israelites that are circumcised with the uncircumcised. You following the way of these other nations. When it tells you in Psalm 96 and 5, for all the gods of the nations are idols. So he say gonna punish you, all that's hanging out, dealing with the mindset of the uncircumcised, which are these other nations that was not given the laws, statutes, commandments of the Most High, unless they come and learn from the Israelites, and they're going to be teaching the same thing. Nothing different. But all you that's out there hanging, he say, I'm going to punish all them which are circumcised with the uncircumcised. So all you that's believing in these religions, you so happy to have, elated to have another nation be over you and teaching you contrary to the word of the Most High. This is our book. We the Israelites. Can't nobody disprove this. I mean, look at Deuteronomy 28:68. And the Most High shall send thee into Egypt, which means captivity, slavery, and bondage again another time with ships. Case closed right there. What nation came into slave ships over and over again, year after year after year after year after year, for hundreds of years? By the way, where I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And we as a nation have not seen our homeland of Israel again. And there, when you go on these ships, ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen. Slave men and slave women, sold to our enemies, and no man shall buy you. Meaning the old Quaker word meaning to save and redeem us from the condition that the Most High put us in. He's got to take us out of this. He the only one can do that. So who is that fit if it's not us? That's why he say, behold, the days come, said the Most High, that I will punish all them which are circumcised with the uncircumcised. So you got to come out of these religions. You got to come out of the way you think, because you circumcised with the uncircumcised. Listen, he said he's going to punish you. Egypt and Judah, we the Israelites, Egypt and Judah and Edom. Egypt mean what? Hamites, so-called Africans. Judah represent Israel. You so-called Negroes and Jamaicans and Levites and Edom, so-called white people, and the children of Ammon, Japanese and Moab, Chinese, and all that are in the utmost corners, all these other nations scattered in the four corners of the earth that dwell in the wilderness. For all these nations are uncircumcised. Hear that? These nations are uncircumcised. And all the house of Israel are uncircumcised in the heart. All the house of Israel are uncircumcised in the heart. That's why in the mind, the way you think. Why you got to come back. You got to be taught the way of the Most High to come back to him so that you have an opportunity for salvation. Power from the authority. That's salvation, to be saved from your enemies and from the hand of all that hate you. That's being saved. No more, no less. Look at Deuteronomy, the 10th chapter, 16 and 17. Deuteronomy 10, 16 and 17. That means it's got to be a change. A drastic change in the way you think, the way you act, the way you conduct yourself. Deuteronomy 10 and 16. Circumcise, therefore, the foreskin of your heart. Because, we circumcise the male child, our sons, on the 8th day. His scrotum. But now he's telling us to circumcise, therefore, the foreskin of your heart, of your mind. We didn't define the heart as the mind. So we got to change our mind and be no more stiff-necked. Don't be no more stiff-necked. Can't nobody tell you nothing. You can't be taught anything. We're going to be learning until, probably eternity. Always learning something. You're never too old that you know it all. Nobody knows it all. Not in these mortal bodies. For the Most High, your power is the power of powers and Lord of lords, a great power, a mighty and a terrible. Hear that? A mighty and a terrible, which regardeth not persons, nor taketh reward. Ain't nothing you can give him. He have no respect to person. He have respect to Israel, his people. You see. Deuteronomy, the 30th chapter. That's why we got to change the way we think, the way we act, the way we conduct ourselves. Deuteronomy 30 and 5. And the Most High thy power will bring thee into the land which thy fathers possessed, and thou shalt possess it, and he will do thee good. Hear that? So let's say, you're going to go into the land that our forefathers possessed, and the Most High say, I'm going to do you good and multiply thee above thy fathers. I'm going to give you more children than your fathers had. Verse 6, and the Most High thy power will circumcise thine heart. So he's going to circumcise the way we think, and the heart of thy seed, and the minds of our children, to love the Most High thy power with all thine heart, with all your mind, and with all thy soul, that thou mayest live. Loving the Most High, keeping his commandments, doing what he said do, his rules and regulations. And the Most High thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies. This is where we at, people. You hear us say, you got to come out to the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. You got to follow his rules and regulations. And the Most High say, and the Most High thy power will put all these curses that came upon us upon thine enemies. Our enemies going to get these curses. And on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. That's future judgment. That's payback. The Most High said, if we do what he say do, to love the Most High thy power, to love him. Master Shai said in John 14 and 15, if you love me, keep my commandments. 1 John 5 and 3, for this is the love of the Most High, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. That's the love. Keeping his commandments. Verse 8, And thou shalt return and obey the voice of the Most High. We're going to return and obey the voice of the Most High and do all his commandments. Can't get no clearer than that. And do all his commandments, which I command thee this day. And the Most High thy power will make thee plenteous. Hear that? He going to make us plenteous in every work of thine hand. Whatever we do, it's going to be in abundance beyond our imagination. Because he said his plenteous is beyond what we can get here, because we don't even know about no plenteous. Who can say they know about plenteous? That's living righteously by the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High, compared to these wicked people that came up following the way of the uncircumcised. They ain't the circumcised among the uncircumcised. When you say we can't do it, they say they're going to be punished. They're going to be punished. They don't repent and come out of that. Verse 9, and the Most High thy power will make thee plenteous in every work of thine hand. Everything we do going to be prosperous. In the fruit of thy body, the children that come from us, and in the fruit of thy cattle, cattle going to be increased, plenteous. And in the fruit of thy land, whatever we grow, going to be plenteous. For good. Hear that? For good. But the Most High will again rejoice over thee for good. Again, rejoice over us for good. For all of us that make it. For him to put us in our land. He gonna rejoice over us for good. And he rejoiced over as he rejoiced over thy fathers. He rejoiced over our forefathers. If thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Most High thy power, Most High have a voice. From a voice come the words. And you know the Mashiach Shai is the word of the Most High. So he said, if just condition, if we hearken or listen unto the voice of the Most High thy power to keep his statutes, which are written in this book of the law, and if thou turn unto the Most High thy power with all thine heart, all your mind, and with all thy soul, every fiber of our existence, turn to the Most High. He gonna bless us to be plenteous. I mean, you look at what he said. He told us in the kingdom. He gave us. It's all here, past and present. We in the time that he gave come out of Egyptian captivity, telling us what he's gonna do for us. Look at 2nd Ezra 8 and 52. 2nd Ezra 8 and 52, we say, for unto you is paradise open to the children of Israel. We the children of Israel, 12 tribes of Israel. The tree of life is planted. The time to come is prepared. It's already prepared. Plenteousness, just like you just said, plenteousness is made ready. He's ready to give us whatever we want to do. Whatever we do, we're going to prosper with our hands. Whatever we decide to do, it's going to be plenteous. Plenteousness is made ready. A city is built. New Jerusalem is already built, ready to come down. And rest is allowed. Rest going to be allowed when you read Isaiah 14, 1 to 3. Rest is allowed. Yeah, perfect goodness and wisdom. The root of evil is sealed up from you. No more evil people. No more evil demons going to be around us. Wickedness and the moth is hid from you. See? And corruption is fled into hell to be forgotten. Sorrows are past. No more sadness. That's why when you see reproach, you see that's disgrace. Ain't nobody gonna be disgraced in the kingdom. That's why you could be, if you get disgraced, you can cry. Ain't gonna be no crying. Like you say, sorrows are past in the kingdom. Y'all better hear this. And in the end is showed the treasure of immortality. Living forever. Never dying. That's what this is all about. I hope it's what it's about for you. It's what it is for me. Living forever with the Most High, the Mashiach Yahushua, and ruling. And we blessed to be there. Romans, the second chapter, verse 28. Romans 2 and 28. For he is not a Jew, which is one outwardly, neither is that circumcision, which is outward in the flesh. He's not a Jew, which is one outwardly, just looking like a Jew. Neither is that circumcision, which is outward in the flesh. Like I say, we circumcise our male child on the 8th day. That's in the flesh. Cutting their scrotum. But he's a Jew, which is one inwardly. And circumcision is that of the heart. Circumcision is that of the mind, the way you think. And changing your ways to be acceptable with the Most High. Listen to the voice of the Most High, the word of the Most High, and following what he say do, his rules and regulations. In the spirit and not in the letter, whose praise is not of men, but of the Most High. See? That's how it's got to be. But some men, they fear men. They look at how man look at them rather than how the Most High is looking at them. Your relationship with the Most High. 1 Peter 3 and 4. That's what it's all about. How our relationship is with the Most High. Because man, you can't trust man. Man will lead you down a path of no avail. Look 1 Peter 3 and 4. So just what it says, but let it be the hidden man of the heart, hidden man of the mind, the way you think, and that which is not corruptible, even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit, which is in the sight of the Most High of great price. Hear that? That's humility. A meek and quiet spirit, which in the sight of the Most High of great price. Not all loud-mouthed. I mean, this a time that it's a time that we're going to cry loud. But the Most High said, hey, he want a meek and quiet spirit before him. So you got to have a balance here. If you don't know how to have this and, roar like a lion and then have this meek and quiet spirit, which in the sight of the Most High of great price, you can't deal with that. I don't know how you going to make it. We done went through, and we know we're in Jacob's trouble. And you see what our ancestors did. They fasted. He said, when you go back, we just started at Joel, he said, fast and weep and mourn. You can't do that being prideful. Ain't no way you can do it. Where it's going to be effective, I'll say. You can do whatever you want to do. But to be effective with the Most High, you got to humble yourself. You hear what he's saying? A meek and quiet spirit, which in the sight of the Most High of great price. Not being overbearing before the Most High. The Most High name is jealous. That's for all of us. Before he visits us. You don't want him, he say he's a consuming fire. And with fire, you get burned. And that's what he's going to do. He's coming to burn people up. Just a message to try and, as it's saying, keep us from getting burned. Philippians, the 3rd chapter. And we're going to read verse 2 and 3. Philippians 3 and 2, it says, beware dogs. I've told you numerous times, when I looked up dog in Unger's Bible Dictionary, it says dog was a word that we use pertaining to the Gentiles because of their profaneness and because of homosexuality. That's what it says in the Unger's Bible Dictionary. So it says, beware dogs. Man, I seen something today that said, somebody had a big old sign that said, I kissed a dog and I liked it. Whew. But it says, that's real dogs. That's wow. It said, beware dogs. In Psalm 22 and 16, it says, for dogs have compassed me. David prophesied about a Mashiach Yahushua. He said, for dogs have compassed me. Psalms 22 and 16, look it up. The assembly of the wicked have enclosed me. You know, Job 9:24 says the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. You know, he covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So he says, beware of dogs. See? Tell us, beware of dogs. These profane people that believe in homosexuality and all the things that Sodom and Gomorrah believed in, and the wickedness that they were doing, the same thing. Beware of evildoers. See, evildoers. You evil if you don't follow the laws, statute, commandments of the Most High, have faith in the Mashiach Yahushua, fear the Most High, cry unto the Most High. Get away from your pride, you evil. Beware of evildoers. Those that don't believe in the Most High's laws, we ain't under the law, they evildoers. Beware of the concision, for we are the circumcision. We are the ones that have learned the laws, had a faith in the Mashiach Yahushua, fear the Most High, incline to the Most High to deliver us from this wicked kingdoms that we've been scattered in, which worship the Most High in the Spirit. Worship the Most High in the Spirit. That's the only way you're going to worship. He said, John 4:24, the Most High is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him how? In spirit and in truth. With the Spirit, the Holy Spirit, the Word of the Most High, and in truth. Keeping his laws, statutes, commandments. You're going to get away from it. I don't care where you want to run, because truth is what? Psalms 119, 142. That righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. Mashiach told you in St. John 14:6, I am the way to follow the truth. That's going to lead to everlasting life. When he say, I'm the way, the truth, and the life, come on. You're not going to get away from it. He's just letting you know. Those that know, know. Because what no New Testament when he said that? It was only the law and the prophets. That's it. And you know, all of them was following the laws. That's why we got books written with their name on it. Oh, yeah. They say, for we are the circumcision, which worship the Most High in the Spirit, and rejoice in Mashiach, B'Shama Mashiach Yahushua, and have no confidence in the flesh. No confidence in the flesh. You know what the flesh is going to deal with. All the negative and evil things that's contrary to the Spirit. Y'all know about that. If you don't, you're going to know about it now. Look, let's look. Right quick, we go there. Galatians 5:17. For the flesh lusts against the Spirit, so they fight against each other. The flesh, you're being carnal-minded, and the Spirit looking at what you're supposed to do that's right, to please the Most High. For the flesh lusts against the Spirit, and the Spirit against the flesh. So they're battling each other until you allow the Spirit to overcome the flesh. Like a lot of people can't do it because this is a lustful and in a fleshly type of world that we in now. So that's why the 144,000, they ain't gonna be defiled with women. Why you think I say that? Because there's a feminine vibration all over this world. He called Esau a woman. They the last one to be ruling. And the men that's going to be the 141,000 ain't going to be defiled by women and following the way of the world. Like the Most High said, you got to think about this. That's why you women got to come up on another level of understanding these scriptures and what you got to deal with to be saved from your enemies, from the hand of all that hate you. Because it's going to be a big reproach coming down. You're talking about Jacob's trouble. I was looking at this, 64,000 of our women that's been stolen, that's missing. 64,000. Could be more than that when they give you a number like that. Come on. 64,000? That's why we got to be hooked into the Most High. Man, Mashiach Yahushua, B'Shama Mashiach Yahushua, to the glory of the Most High. Just so you don't get caught up in the madness that this world is bringing down. That's why it says, for the flesh lusteth against the Spirit, and the Spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary the one to the other, so that ye could not do the things that ye would. That's why I say you got to fight what you can really read about in the flesh. and let the spirit overcome the flesh. It take work, but you can do it. It can be done. Mashiach Shai came and did it. Think he wasn't tempted like everybody else? Yes. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery. Look up all these words: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envies, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like, of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not, I repeat, shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High. So you do your due diligence and look up these words that you don't know what they mean. You know, because Israel lazy. Oh, what does that mean? What does that mean? What's that mean? What's that mean? Look it up. You got a dictionary, look it up. So you would know. Show that you care. Listen, verse 22. But the fruit of the Spirit, remember the Spirit, contrary to the flesh, they fight against each other. But the fruit of the Spirit is love. And we know love is what? Keeping of the commandments of the Most High. Joy, peace, long-suffering, suffering long, gentleness. You got to have this. Goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. And they that are Mashiachim, which we should be, he told us in 1 Corinthians 3:23, but ye are Mashiachim. That's the Messiahs. And Hamashiach is the Most Highs. We can't get to the Most High unless we go through him. And he's saying that with no New Testament existing in St. John 14:6. That's what a lot of people don't understand or recognize, that there is no New Testament. When we're reading this, ain't no New Testament. It was compiled possibly 325 AD in the Council of Nicaea. Oh, wicked Constantine and all of them. It says, and they that are Mashiachim, the Messiahs, have crucified the flesh with the affections and lusts. See? It's all about feelings and lusts. Your lustful desires. You got to conquer that. When you conquer that, then you start going to higher spiritual levels. You cannot reach higher spiritual levels until you conquer the flesh. That's what he's telling us. If we live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit. Let us not be desirous of vain glory. Don't be desirous of being somebody in this wicked ass kingdoms that we've been scattered in. Yeah, I said it. Because he's saying it. Let us not be desirous of vain glory, worthless glory. What good is it? You done became somebody in this world, and when the Mashiach Shai come back, he gonna smash you. Say you ain't nobody to me. Because you tried to be somebody in this wicked kingdom, and you had to do it through the flesh and not through the Spirit. That's what it all boiled down to. That's why I say, let us not be desirous of vain glory, provoking one another, envying one another. You're supposed to be doing that. You shouldn't be envying no one and provoking no one because you envy them or something like of that nature. Understand this and understand Hamashiach Yahushua. So if you Mashiachim, then this is where he's at. This is where he was at. Philippians 2:7. But made himself of no reputation. That's vainglory. He didn't care about no vainglory. That's why he would heal people and say, don't tell nobody I done it. Think about it. If you had the power, if men on this earth today had the power to say your sins are forgiven, you are healed from whatever it is that anyone's dealing with. You don't think their head would get puffed up with vainglory, worthless glory? Yeah. That's why he's giving you analysis of how you got to fight against the flesh and let the spirit overcome the flesh. Then you can come up to higher spiritual levels to have true spiritual power. And not this weak stuff that people are trying to perpetrate in this world. But the real spiritual power, where you see miracles start to happen in your life. And things that Mashiach Shai said, we're going to do the things he done and even greater things. Because he's going to the Father. You're going to come back, you're going to leave us comfortably, you're going to come to us. I will not leave you comfortably, so I'm going to come to you. Those that have the right spirit and not of the flesh. Oh, Satan will bless you too. He come for his too after he done bless you. I said all the people, all the sinners of my people go die by the sword, which say the evil should not prevail over within us. But listen to Mashiach Rashad. Philippians 2:7 say, but made himself of no reputation and took upon him the form of a servant and was made in the likeness of men. And being found in fashion as a man, he humbled himself. Come on, he said he told the Romans, I can call down 12 legions of angels and kill all of y'all. If he wanted to, but he said it wasn't his time to do that. But when he come back this time, oh yeah, he come back to judge and make war. I tell you that in Revelation 19:11. Say blood gonna be all over his garment. You ready for that? You better. We gotta be ready. Or you gonna be thrown in a lake of fire, point blank. Hear what he said? But being found in fashion as a man, he humbled himself. No pride there. He humbled himself and became obedient unto death, even the death of the cross. Hard time that he had to go through because he was hanging on a tree. You see? Let's go to Psalms 34:18. Yeah, we're going to bring it out tonight. Psalms 34:18. The Most High is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart. Most High is near to them that are of a broken mind, and saveth such as be of a contrite spirit. Have humility, meek and low spirit, quiet spirit before the Most High. All you loud mouths and all that stuff, you all the time, you gonna holler at the Most High? Yeah, some of you do. Scream at the Most High, you praying. Like the Most High supposed to react to you. You hearing what he said? The Most High is nigh, Most High is near unto them that are of a broken heart, broken spirit, broken mind, and saveth such as be of a contrite spirit. So we got to be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us. So how you going to save you if you already acting like you already got the power? That the Most High don't need to give you no power because you already got the power. You already got a reputation that put you, that's why he said, don't be trying to get vain glory. Worthless glory. Most High don't care nothing about this. And when you think about Mashiach, I care about this world when he going to come and destroy it? Nah. Hear what it says?